Sado Sex For Dummies is the latest full length from Loose Sutures, a Sardinian trio who started out a few years ago as more of like a kind of a garage punkish stoner rock band who the main idea of what their sound is all about is basically um, like late 60s garage rock kind of punk in general that fed from that, and then stoner rock in the kind of the 90s, looking back to the 70s stoner rock. So it's no surprise that there are guest spots from like members of Queens of the Stone Age and stuff like that in here, but more importantly, their sound has evolved from album to album to the point where all three of them are very related in spirit and in kind of the modus that they're working with, but some of those references have changed per just members leaving and their sound kind of changing too. So the first record is much more of a punk rock, kind of a pastiche, a mix of many things that just kind of fit into a vibe but don't really make a lot of sense. The second album really found its sound, and I really liked that record for the most part. It was more of a psychedelic kind of sleaze rock kind of thing. And now this third record goes for more of the stoner rock side of things, and without losing some of the different perspectives they'd gained along the way. So the spirit of the band is there. Some of the memberships are different or just gone, and we'll hit upon a song here just to get an idea of just kind of how catchy this is and why I'm talking about it. So the main reason I'm talking about this record at all is because I'm a huge fan of both what bands like Electric Wizard added to the stoner kind of rock and doom metal sound, as well as I'm a huge fan of 90s stoner rock and stoner metal. That was, bands like Fu Manchu and uh, Kios and all them. They sort of it was part of my growing up and like all that stuff. Whatever. But that's the feeling I get from this record is that they have the garage punk, garage rock, classic rock, stoner rock. All those things are feeding into this sound in a really interesting way. And you can feel that in the sense that they are writing simpler songs, 4 or 5 minute rock songs that are structured in a way that kind of drills the point in your head, but takes you somewhere on a little bit of a trip. So it should be an appreciable effect for any fan of psychedelic rock and all those things that are attached to it throughout the years. It's pretty interesting when a band is able to put so many alchemical ingredients into something, but still write a straightforward, catchy song from it. And of course, they get a little bit of help here, especially on side B, where I think Alain Johannes, obviously his guest appearance here is a little bit involved, and certainly kind of takes the cake away from the band. It kind of outshines some of their earlier work on side A, just because it is very catchy and kind of signature touch. But then we kind of shrink back, we kind of turtle back up when Nick Oliveri shows up and kind of yells at us about cocaine for a couple of minutes after that. So it feels like they really have kind of gone back to the feeling of the real underground nitty gritty of stoner rock as it was becoming a thing and not just when it was a thing. Anyway, uh, they get there with this album. I think I like it more than the last one. It is just more memorable. They touch upon some darker subjects. They have a lot more fun with it. The band sounds more easygoing, and the recording is just generally better. It's not so aimed at a raw retro. Who cares kind of fest, and more it's just a good rock record with 4 songs on each side. So check it if that's anywhere near your interests, and read about it in the review I've written.